Sir, step out of the line. First class isn't for everyone. The gate agent's voice sliced through the terminal, loud enough for every phone camera to hear. The black man stood still, ticket in one hand, silence in the other. Then security arrived, a uniformed officer gripping his badge like proof of authority. The crowd watched, eager for a scene. No one knew the man they were about to humiliate didn't just fly with the airline, he commanded its planes. And when his ID surfaced, arrogance would vanish, badges would tremble, and respect would finally clear for departure. The line at gate B-17 moved in quiet rhythm. Boarding passes scanned. Luggage rolled forward, voices blending into the hum of departure. But when one man stepped into the first-class lane, the rhythm snapped. "Sir," said the gate agent, her tone sharpened by arrogance, "this line's for priority passengers." The man stopped mid-step, ticket in hand, calm and composed. "It is," he replied. She smirked. "And I'm saying you're not. Step aside." He raised an eyebrow, his voice even. "Check my ticket." The agent glanced at it, then scoffed. "Must be a mistake. People like you don't just buy first-class seats." The passengers nearby chuckled quietly. One whispered, "He probably snuck in from economy." Still, the man didn't flinch. His name was Captain Marcus Cole, though no one at the gate knew it yet. "I'm exactly where I belong," Marcus said. The agent, Kara Benson, her badge flashing under the fluorescent light, rolled her eyes. "Security!" A uniformed officer approached, his posture firm. "What's the problem here?" Kara folded her arms. "This gentleman refuses to leave the first-class line. Claims his ticket's valid." The officer looked Marcus up and down, his voice low but condescending. "Sir, let's not make this difficult. Step aside until we can verify your information." Marcus handed over his boarding pass. "Do what you need to." The officer scanned it, frowning. "Seat 3C, who issued this?" "The airline," Marcus said calmly. "Right," the officer muttered, unconvinced. "Wait here." The passengers shifted, whispering, recording. Kara leaned toward him with a smirk. "Next time, just stay in your section." Marcus looked at her evenly. "And what section is that?" She hesitated, but arrogance filled the silence. "The one where people don't expect champagne." Before he could respond, her radio crackled. "Kara, flight's ready for final call." "Not yet," she said, glaring at Marcus. "This man's holding everyone up." The officer's radio buzzed, too. He stepped aside to answer, whispering into it. His eyes widened slightly, but he didn't speak. Marcus stood still, quiet and unbothered. Every second stretched like a verdict waiting to fall. Finally, the officer returned, his voice softer now. "Sir, I, might need to see another form of identification." Marcus reached into his jacket and pulled out a leather ID wallet embossed with silver wings. He opened it, revealing his name, rank, and the unmistakable title, Captain, Flight Operations. The air shifted. Kara blinked. "Wait, you're a—" He nodded once. "Yes, I fly this airline's planes. And now I'm wondering why your own staff tried to block me from boarding one." Silence fell over the gate. Passengers who had smirked moments earlier froze mid-breath. The officer straightened immediately, his hand dropping from his belt. "Captain," he said quietly. "I apologize, sir." Kara's confidence drained from her face. I didn't know." Marcus looked at her, tone level but lethal in its calm. "That's the problem. You didn't care to know. You saw a uniform missing and you filled in your own story." Her throat tightened. "Sir, I didn't mean—" He stopped her with a glance. "Intent doesn't erase humiliation," he turned to the officer. "You can stand down." "Yes, Captain," the officer replied quickly, stepping back with his head bowed slightly. Marcus faced Kara again. "Who's your supervisor?" She hesitated, voice barely audible. "Director Collins, ground operations." Marcus nodded. "Call him now!" Her trembling hands reached for the phone. Within minutes, Director Collins arrived, breathless, confused, and already aware something had gone wrong. "Captain Cole," he said, recognizing him instantly. "Sir, what happened here?" Marcus gestured lightly. "Ask your gate agent." Collins turned to Kara. "What's the meaning of this?" She stammered. "I thought he was—" "He didn't look what?" Collins demanded. Kara's silence was louder than any answer. Marcus stepped in, his voice steady. She thought I didn't belong, so she called security instead of checking a system she's trained to use. The passengers watched in stunned silence as Collins's face reddened. Captain, I assure you this behavior is unacceptable. I'll handle it immediately. You will, Marcus said, and so will corporate. He handed Collins a card, black, metallic, and unmistakably corporate issued. My next report goes directly to the Chief Operating Officer. Include today's footage. Kara's knees weakened. Please, sir. Marcus held up a hand. Save the apology for whoever hires you next. But remember this moment, because authority without respect isn't power. It's just noise. He turned to the passengers still filming. You can put your phones away. The lesson's already recorded. A few lowered their cameras in shame. Others whispered, He's the pilot! The actual pilot? Collins signaled 2 agents to escort Kara away. You're relieved of duty, he said flatly. As she disappeared down the corridor, Marcus walked to the podium, scanning his pass. The new agent stepped back nervously. Welcome aboard, Captain. He nodded once. Thank you. Inside the aircraft, the crew stood as he entered. The first officer saluted. Heard what happened, sir, Marcus sighed. Then make sure it never happens on my watch. Respect first, rank second. Yes, Captain. He sat in seat 3C, the same ticket Kara had questioned, and gazed out the window as the engines started. The captain's voice came over the speaker. We're honored to have Captain Marcus Reed aboard today. Applause rippled through the cabin, but Marcus stayed silent, his calm stronger than pride. By landing, the video had flooded every screen. Pilot denied boarding. The airline statement read, Respect isn't optional. It's our standard. Kara's badge was deactivated before sunrise. The officer was reassigned for retraining. Days later, Marcus addressed new recruits with quiet authority. You can't train integrity, he said. You live it. Outside, a jet ascended through the clouds, proof that dignity, once reclaimed, never falls again. If you believe respect should never depend on titles or uniforms, stand with us. Like this video, share it everywhere and tell us in the comments where you're watching from and what moment hit you hardest. Subscribe now and turn on notifications for more stories where dignity takes flight and arrogance crashes.